Well, this review will piss off a lot of people, but I will just say what needs to be said. And after all, this is my opinion, and you are entitled for the one that is completely different from mine. As guessed, in this video, we will be reviewing and taking a look at Ark Survival Evolved. Oh boy. I remember times when Ark was everywhere on Steam on YouTube, and you could not escape it anywhere, but is it actually worth it to play it right now? Let's discuss that. So for the ones who didn't know what Ark Survival Evolved is, well, this game is actually a classic example of survival, and it came out during the dawn of survival games. It came out into early access in 2015. Yes, it was that long ago. And since then garnered a pretty huge reputation as a go-to survival game. Since then, it also released a few major expansions that expanded the game in a huge way. But is it actually worth it to play it right now? So let's start discussing the gameplay itself. Gameplay-wise, you can play in one of two modes. You can play it either single player or you can play it multiplayer. And in multiplayer, there are also a bunch of official servers available, and you can play it in some way similar to an MMO, even though it is actually not an MMO game. And the basic gameplay and the basic premise is that you create your character and you suddenly wake up on an island. And you have no idea where you are, you have no idea who you are, and you have only one goal: to survive. You go around, you scavenge for materials, you level up your character, you try to survive because you actually need to control a few attributes of your character, like your health, your stamina, your food gauge, your water gauge, and even your oxygen meter if you are diving underwater. And well, you need to survive and unlock more and more advanced tech in order to, well, basically survive more efficiently. The key thing and the most distinctive thing in this game was the fauna of this game. Basically, the game world is actually populated by a bunch of prehistoric animals, like dinosaurs or a bunch of prehistoric mammals. And with an expansion, you also have some mythical creatures as well, like a dino robots or even mythical creatures like dragons. And here you will actually be actively hunted by those creatures, which are practically all hostile, or you can actually hunt them for a bunch of different resources, or you can actually tame them. Yes, every creature in this game is actually tameable, and absolutely majority of those creatures are actually rideable as well. So basically, you can transform any creature into your mount. And it didn't matter whether it was a terrestrial creature, flying creature, or an underwater creature. You can tame them all. And, well, ride the majority of them. And this premise made this game different from others in its genre. And as you progress through the tech tree, you unlock a bunch of different technology, including advanced sci-fi tech as well. You build your bases, and there is not much of an end goal. Yes, there are some bosses on an island, and you're basically preparing to battle them, and there are some points, I can say like that you need to reach and activate to actually, well, kind of like a complete an island. But these goals are actually not even remotely visible when you start the game. You literally have no idea what you're doing there, and all you're trying to do is just to play as much as you can. And still to this day, a lot of people are actually playing this game. And I mean the base game, because expansions added a bunch of other things, like new islands, expanded story a bit, and added a bunch of new creatures. And of course, also a bunch of new tech and materials and items that you can craft. But the question rises here: is it actually fun? And well, again, I know that will piss a lot of people, but I really did not enjoy this game that much, even though I understand why people are enjoying it. You see, game is basically nothing but grind and very, very clunky and rudimentary combat. And during the combat, all you do is just shoot things from very far, or just poke it with a stick or with a blunt weapon. It's basically extremely rudimentary and very clunky. It does not look that good, even though graphics of the game looks pretty okay. And this gameplay loop for just surviving for the sake of better survival, yes, it's fun for a bit, but without an actual goal in mind, it's actually not as fun as you might think. Or at least it wasn't for me. Other survival games like Forest, you actually had some kind of goal. You crash landed on an island and you need to find your son and you need to get out of there. That's basically your goal. In Valheim, your goal is to prepare to battle the bosses, and you know this from the very first second. Well, the goals are not as clear, and basically all you need to do is just to play around. And yes, even though the grind can actually be controlled in a single player game, where you can actually control everything in the gameplay, even how much damage that you can get or you can deal, or how much materials you can get, a bunch of other things that allows you to tweak the game for your liking, but it was still not a very enjoyable game for me, because, well, all you do is just do stuff for the sake of doing stuff. There is no goal at the end, and not even vague goal. There is no goal at all. Even though I know that there is actually some goal, some resemblance of the goal at the end of the game, but it's still way too vague and way too small. But you might say, go to the multiplayer then. And no, the multiplayer is actually worse than that. Only reason to play the game in the multiplayer is to play with your friends, to play it together cooperatively. This way the game is actually fun. I won't lie to you, game is fun when you play with your friends, when you go around and you collect resources together, when you divide your functions between each other, and when you go and tame different creatures and just maybe even compete who gets the better creature. Then this game is actually fun. I won't lie to you, this way game is actually very fun. However, if you will go to any of the official servers, boy, you will not. But unless you enjoy PvP survival games like Rust, you will not have a fun time there. Basically, every single player will try to kill you. And yes, I mean every single player on every on every single server. Doesn't matter it's PvP or it's PvE. Everyone is trying to kill you. And you see, these servers have been running for a really long time, and wherever you go, you will see everything basically built up. You will see a bunch of bases, bunch of buildings, bunch of things abandoned. You will see everything. And all you will be doing is running naked, trying to harvest some wood and fire. That's not fun. Yes, there are also servers, thankfully, that are being reset from time to time. And yes, you can find some fun there. Again, unless you're playing with friends, it is not going to be a lot of fun. Unless you like the games like that. If you enjoy Rust and if you enjoy multiplayer in Rust, oh boy, you're gonna have a blast here. And yes, I know that a lot of people are enjoying this game. I understand that. A lot of people like grinding games. Yes, it is perfectly fine and it's perfectly okay. I understand that. It's just I didn't like it. Okay, but what about the pricing? How much game will actually cost? Game is available on Steam for the base price of $29.99 for tier 1 countries, and it can go as low as $9.59 for tier 1 countries and $4.59 for tier 2 countries. And I'm talking about only the base game right now, I'm not talking about the DLCs. And game is also available on Game Pass practically for free, and it's available there with all the expansions and DLCs. And that's how actually I play this game, through a Game Pass. So overall, is this game actually worth it to buy? If you have a Game Pass, 100% try it, but with one asterisk. If you have a Game Pass and if you have a lot of space on your computer, because the game weighs almost 200 gigabytes with all the DLC and 150 gigabytes for only the base game. The game is huge. So if you have a space, if you have expendable space like this one, then yes, go and try it on a Game Pass. But what about Steam? Is it actually worth it there? If you have played any other survival games, like if you played Forest and if you played Rust and you enjoyed them, and if you enjoy the survival games like this one, then yes, this game is basically an OG survival game and it's absolutely worth it on a discount. And the game is almost all the time on a discount. Base game is always going down in price, and you will basically easily find this game for sub $10 no matter what tier country you're living. However, if you do not like survival games, the only reason to buy this game will be if you will be playing this with your friends. If you have a friends who are playing this game, or if you have friends who wants to play this game, then yes, it is worth it to play with friends. I don't know for how long you will be playing this together, but yes, this will be the way to enjoy this game. However, if you don't have friends who want to play this game and you don't like survival games, stay away from this one. This is a grindy game. And the grind is a key in this game. Grind is a gameplay here. All the tech, all the crafting, all the building is an additional thing to the grind. All you will be doing is just going and grinding for more and more and more and more resources. And if you do not like that, stay away from this one, especially if you don't have a lot of space on your PC. Again, I know that a lot of people enjoy this game. I know that a lot of people love this game, and I understand why they do that. But if you are not fan of the survival genre, you are not gonna enjoy this. Well, this should be it for today. Thank you for being here with me. Let me know in the comments down below, have you played Ark, or what was the last survival game that you actually played and you enjoyed? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for being here with me. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. See ya.